You know, a very long time ago, I remember a quote by a guy called Robert Kiyosaki, who said that the biggest expense you have in your business is the money that you're not making. Now, that sounds really salesy. That sounds very much about being all business focused, but those words should really ring true for every coach, for every therapist, for every counsellor, for every psychotherapist, for every complementary therapist in the country. Because I remember when I heard those words, they spoke to me. Because think about it, the biggest expense that you have in your coaching and therapy practice right now is the money that you are not making. And if you're anything like me, you are probably what I call a lifelong learner. You love learning new skills. You learn everything that you can so that you can bring your wisdom from your own personal life experiences and all the amazing coaching and therapy skills that you've gathered along the way. And you want to take all of this and use it to help you, to help your clients. That's what we're all about, isn't it? We really want to make the world a better place. We want to help as many people as we can to achieve happiness, contentment, success, joy, to put their past behind them, to finish the unfinished business of the past so that they can live more fully in the present. But here's the thing. We can't really do that unless we know how to get great clients. Now, when Kiyosaki said that the biggest expense is the money you're not making, it really resonated with me. And it sent me on a 10-year journey to learn, to answer one question and one question only. And it was this: Wallace, how do you get great clients? Oh God, and I'm so sorry. In many ways, I asked myself that question because I ended up doing a master's in digital marketing so that I could truly answer that question, not just personally in my own private practice, but so that as the teaching therapist, when my students and graduates came to me and said, how do we get great clients? That I could answer that with authority. So 10 years later, well, 9 years later, something like that, I ended up with 7 of these huge big folders filled with the best advice that money can buy, and also the best advice that you can get out there that doesn't cost a penny. But you can't run a coaching and therapy practice and have 10 of these as your marketing. You need something that's going to be far more efficient than that. So what I did was I created a course, and it's called Get Great Clients. And if you know me at all, if you've been on my mailing list for a while, if you've signed up for my triple diploma course, and if we've had a conversation on the phone, I've probably said these words to you. I've probably said that there are only 2 skills you need to run a successful coaching and therapy practice. You need to know how to get great clients, and you need to know how to deliver great results. And I said this to you: if you sign up for my triple dip, I'm going to show you exactly how to get great results. Now, if you're a graduate or if you're a student, you know that I am a woman of my word, and I have taught you exactly how to get great results consistently with your clients. And I said to you that I will do as much as I can to help you with the marketing so that you can get great clients. But you know, it really is a full course in and of itself to teach you the skills to be able to get great clients. So I took those 7 big folders, and I condensed everything into this book. And this is the book that I use every year. December is my month for marketing. And what I do is I sit down with this book and I go through it, and I use it to help me to plan my clients, the different packages that I have, the different courses that I'm going to run, and I stick to this. This is what has helped me to develop my courses, to develop my coaching and therapy packages. And without this, I wouldn't have the practice and the teaching business that I have today. So Another thing, so I'm going to talk to you today, really, it's a very informal video, but I'm going to talk to you today about some of the things that just keep coming up time and time again. Because therapists keep telling me that they sabotage themselves when it comes to marketing. They tell me that they don't like putting themselves out there, and they make the assumption that there is something inside of them that is stopping them or blocking them. They say to me, it could be that I've got money issues. It could be, that I'm procrastinating. And they have all these different reasons. And it's possible that they may be right. But there's one thing I know for certain, is that if you actually want to run a rewarding and successful coaching and therapy practice, then you need to have the skills to get great clients. And that's nothing to do with your self-confidence. It's nothing to do with your motivation. It's nothing to do with your money issues. It's all to do with the fact that you don't know the strategy by which to attract great clients into your practice. So if somebody comes to me and they're saying these things to me, that it's sabotage, that, I stand in my way, I procrastinate, before I will even go there, I will ask them to tell me specifically, what is your strategy for getting great clients? What's the strategy you use to minimize the amount of time that you spend on social media? What's your strategy to make sure that you're not what I call a content consumer? And we are all those. So here's a question for you. How much time are you currently spending over the course of your day on Facebook or on Instagram or on YouTube doing this? Because if you're doing that, you are a content consumer. And what you're doing is you're looking at other people and how successful they are. And what is that doing? That's lowering your confidence in yourself. It's dampening down your spirit to be successful. And it's actually stopping you from doing what you really ought to be doing. And that is creating content. And here's the thing. Creating content for social media is a lot simpler than you think. There are amazing apps out there that will pretty much do all of the heavy lifting, all of that hard graphic design work for you. And what you should be doing is you should be maximizing that. You should be using it and leveraging it and sitting down, spending one day and doing tons and tons of content, so that you can drip feed that into your social media accounts effortlessly and easily over time. And then what I'm talking to you now isn't just about other coaches and therapists and the difficulties they face, but these are my own difficulties, and these are the things where I've got to literally go Wallace and pull in the reins and stop myself from making the same mistakes over and over again. Because if you're anything like me, December is our downtime, isn't it? We spend time with friends, we spend time with family, we put our feet up, we watch movies, we sit by the fire. If you're a traditionalist, you probably get your copy of the Radio Times or the RTE Guide, and you look at what's on telly and you decide what it is that you will and will not watch. You probably leaf through a magazine, or again, you're doing the social media scrolling. But I had to interrupt that habit because that was getting me nowhere. Because the closer the clock came to striking midnight on the 1st of January for the next year, the more I was feeling agitated and frustrated that I really hadn't got a business plan together for the following year. And again, that was another reason, one of my personal reasons for putting everything I've learned about marketing into one simple, easy to pick up, easy to flick through book. So what can you do to make sure that next year is going to be the year that you finally fill your diary with the kind of clients that you really want to welcome, that will energize and inspire you to do your best work, that will make you feel confident and alive because you're doing the work that you feel drawn towards doing. And I know how tempting it is to go and sign up for another amazing coaching and therapy course and to invest your time and energy in that. But here's the rub. It doesn't matter how many coaching and therapy skills you have, because if you don't know how to get great clients, you're never going to release the value that is trapped and hidden in those coaching and therapy skills. So, this is what's worked for me. It may not work for you, but you probably know by now that I'm a little bit of a hard ass when it comes to working on myself. So every year I say to myself, Wallace, you are not investing in another course or doing another training or working with another expert until you have made sure that you know how to get great clients for the next year. And so I make myself put on my invisible pair of blinkers and I mark off 5 days in my diary in December. No matter what happens, those days do not move for anyone or anything. And what I do is I set up my space to maximize my focus. There's no social media, there's no email, there is nothing. I get the kind of food and lunches that I like. I bring everything into my workspace. I have a do not disturb sign on my door, and I spend 5 days working specifically to make sure that I can get great clients. Now, that's the way I do it. And those five days that I spend working to get great clients, they give me something that money can't buy. They give me satisfaction. They give me confidence. And they give me a sense of control over the year ahead. I also know where I am. It means that I can then have what we would call a content calendar. As I look at my online calendar, I know what's coming up next. And I've already created the social media posts and everything that's going with it. And what's nearly more important than how this makes me feel is what it takes out of my life. It takes out the fact, it stops me from being really hard on myself. It gets rid of that inner voice that continually sabotages me, that tells me I'm not working hard enough, that tells me, there must be something wrong with you because look, you've got all of these coaching and therapy skills, but you've not got great clients. It removes those feelings of failure. It removes the feelings of self-sabotage, because I know I've actually gone through a strategy to help me to get great clients. So you're probably wondering what's in get great clients. So first of all, I made a masterclass about this a few years ago. It's probably a little bit dated now. It certainly is when it comes to the pricing, because the prices that I'm quoting are so old. When you watch the masterclass, do not make the assumption that those prices are what you should be charging. You should at least be doubling or tripling what I suggest. Anyway, that's money talk. This isn't about money talk. What's in this book? Well, first of all, if you do decide to sign up for the Get Great Clients course, it's going to cost you less than from what you would earn by seeing one new client. Okay? So in terms of value, one new client that you get into your coaching and therapy practice will pay for this course. So it's highly affordable. The reason it's highly affordable is because I give you the strategy. I give you all of the videos that talk you through the process. We don't just work on the things that you physically need to do, but we work on your mindset. We work on your money beliefs. We work on how you sabotage yourself, all of those kind of things. But all I can do is give it to you and ask you for a payment, for 2 payments in return. One is a physical payment of money, but the other thing that I have to ask you for is that you give yourself a payment in time. You simply must mark 5 days off of your calendar to sit down and do the work. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're just wasting your money. And if you're not willing to do that, the chances are you're never going to get the quality clients that you want into your coaching and therapy practice, because you probably don't have a strategy that works through the offline channels and the online channels. And so that's just giving it to you straight from my perspective. And I'm not just saying this to you, I say this to myself every year, and I've been doing this consistently since the year 2000. So what's in it? Lesson number 1. Your starting point is, how do I put this? You know, it's easy. Okay, here's the thing. It's just as easy for you to enroll one new client into your coaching and therapy practice as it is to enroll 10. In fact, it's probably easier to enroll 10 people into your coaching and therapy practice than it is to enroll 1. Let me explain why. Because lesson number 1 is create a wealth generating workshop. If you can bring 10 people into a physical space or an online space, the value of that work will exceed the cost that you charge one person to come and have a session with you. You don't have to charge a fortune, but what you can do is you can bring them to a workshop and you can use your time on that workshop to give them great value and to inspire confidence and motivation in them, and above all, to do one thing, and one thing that's really important, and that is to help them to make a commitment to actually go and do what needs to be done. And that, of course, would be to make a commitment to come and see you, because by having the workshop, you're proving yourself to be the expert in the space. Now, you might say to me, Susan, there is no way I could stand up in front of people. I'm introverted. I'm a very introverted person. You probably wouldn't think that of me, but I am. And you might not want to do a workshop. So I say to you this, doesn't matter. Design the workshop, because do you know what you can do with that workshop? Instead of delivering it in person, why don't you deliver it online? And here's the thing about online, is that you don't have to do it live online. You can do what I'm doing right now, and you can go and video your workshop. And then when you're happy with your production, you can then offer that to your clients. So lesson number 3 is, if you have created a workshop, if you have created a webinar, you need to do what's next. And the whole reason I've done this is so I can do lesson number 3. And that is to make an irresistible offer to your clients, to your audience, to your followers on social media. And the irresistible offer, this is an example of it that I'm making to you today, is I'm saying to you that if you wish, you can learn the skills and strategies to get great clients. And it's only going to cost you 2 things. It's going to cost you as much as it says down here, because the course is on promotion. And that cost is less than what you will earn, or they are about equal to what you would earn from working with one client. But there's another cost that you have to pay, and that's, you don't have to say this to your to people on your workshops and webinars, but I'm saying it to you. There is another cost, and that is you need to set aside 5 days to work on creating the strategy so that you can get great clients. There are 365 days in the year next year. If you are serious about building a rewarding and successful coaching and therapy practice, are you willing to take 5 days and devote them to working on your business so that you can get great clients? All right, so there we are. That's lesson number 3. Lesson number 4 is you're going to give yourself 5 days to actually work on your coaching and therapy practice. In return for that, I'm going to make it super simple for you. Okay, so lesson number 4 is swipe files for brilliant documents, presentations, workshops, and webinars. So I'm asking you to spend 5 days working on your coaching and therapy practice so you can bring in those great clients. But I'm also going to make it super easy for you because I'm going to give you those swipe files. Now, swipe files is when you have the ability to use your mouse when you're on your computer and to copy a load of text and to make your own of it. So the swipe files will make it really easy for you to create those kind of brochures with, you know, those lovely snazzy titles. So that you can make great presentations, so that you're able to advertise your workshops and your webinars in a very professional way that's going to inspire people to go ahead and book a place on them. And then lesson number 6, I'm going to show you how to create brilliant brochures and web sales pages. Those pages that encourage people to book their coaching and therapy sessions with you, or your coaching packages with you, or your courses with you. And here's the thing, I'm going to show you how to make web sales pages work for you, even if you don't have a website. Lesson number 6, this is something I learned a long time ago, and this on its own is worth the cost of this training, because I'm going to show you how to create what I call a perpetual referral system. So you get endless clients easily and effortlessly. Now, if you're out there in social media and you're constantly posting, it can feel like it is such an awful waste of your time. How good would it be if you had what I call a perpetual referral system that brought you in an endless stream of clients who already think and know that you are as good as you are? So that's lesson number 6. That is so important. Think about it like this. You know, the energy, we call it activation energy in positive psychology, where you've got to actually get out there and do the work to bring in one client. Bringing in one client or bringing in 10 clients takes the same amount of activation energy. When you have those 10 clients, how can you leverage them so that you have this perpetual referral system where you're constantly getting a new supply of high value clients? Lesson number 7. This stuff is now where we really start moving into the psychology of client attraction. And I call this empathy mapping. And I've broken it down into 7 steps because there are 7 steps to creating what I call a great connection with your clients. Now, in the psychology of marketing, there are 3 things that you need to do before somebody's going to book anything with you. They need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. Okay, KLT, they need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. This is the psychology of client attraction, the psychology of marketing. But even more than that, people won't actually book anything with you until they have experienced your value 7 times. So they need to have that connection with you 7 times in order for them to feel that they know you, that they like you, and that they trust you. So that's what lesson 7 is all about. Lesson number 8, you know what I was saying earlier on about self-sabotage and having money issues and all that kind of stuff? Because you now have created a strategy to get great clients, now at lesson number 8, let's do the work. Let's untangle your self-worth from your fees. I was so bad at this. I remember when I was working at the Farrago Clinic years and years ago, and I kind of gone out on my own a little bit, and I was seeing clients, and my boss said, Wallace, how much are you charging for a session? And I remember telling him I was charging £45 at the time. And he was absolutely enraged at me. He says, Wallace, your self-worth is so tied up in your beliefs about yourself that you're reflecting it in your fees. You see, when I was working with him, and this was 1996, I was forced to charge £200 an hour for a hypnotherapy session. So if you came to see me, the first session would cost £400 sterling, okay? All subsequent sessions were £200. And then I'm telling him I'm charging £45. Well, of course, he lost the plot. And he was right. My self-belief, my self-worth was entangled in my fees. So there was a huge disconnect there. So, and you know, I still experience that, and I still suffer from it, because if you've attended my triple diploma course, or if you're thinking of signing up for my triple dip, you'll know that my next nearest competitor, she's beautiful, she's amazing, she's all over the internet. She's telling you that you are good enough, okay? But she charges £7,500 for what is practically the same training. The only difference really is that I teach you how to do it. Hypnotherapy, by its very nature, is a rapid therapy designed to transform lives. It's all rapid. It is all rapid therapy. Hypnotherapy transforms lives. It is as simple as that. So I still have those money issues, and when I'm working with my business mentors, they're always bringing it up and saying to me, Wallace, this is crazy. You know, you need to seriously increase your fees. And one of these days I might actually listen to them. So anyway, you have to untangle your self-worth from your fees. And this is really important. And just speaking about the triple dip, if you haven't actually done my triple dip, if you've missed it this year and you're kind of sorry you didn't get a chance to start, here's something. Why not actually learn how to get those great clients before you do the triple dip? Because that means by the time you actually graduate with your diploma in hypnotherapy, your diploma in mind coaching, and your diploma in online therapy, you already know how to. And if you know how to, that means you take the skills that you've learned in the triple dip, and instantly you're going to be applying them, because you're going to be using them every day with the clients who are booking coaching and hypnotherapy with you. Just a thought. Anyway, so untangle your self-worth from your fees. And then I've put 3 bonuses together. And the great thing is, because everything's actually in this book, you've got this. You can bring it on the train, you can bring it on the plane, you can bring it on the bus, you can throw it into your handbag, you can have it there on your coffee table, so that when you're watching or thinking about watching Netflix or watching a movie or something else, how about you pick this up and work on your business. So what are the bonuses? Number 1, we're going to explore your money story. I really didn't think that there was any value in doing that until I sat down and did it. And the eureka moment I had when I did that just completely blew me away and helped me to make that massive jump from having a poverty-based mindset into having an abundance-based mindset. And let me tell you this, I don't give 2 hoots about money. If I did, I would be charging $7,500 for the triple diploma course. So money is a metaphor for the other experiences of lack that we have in our lives. So just think of money as being a metaphor that helps to describe your relationship with abundance in your life. And when I changed my money story, or actually decided to look at my money story in a different way, I created the emotional and mental space, and I created the space within my nervous system to allow abundance to flow. So what I mean is I suddenly started attracting quality relationships into my life. I suddenly began attracting better health. I began making better decisions about my health and my wellness. I began taking better care of myself, because instead of bemoaning and thinking that I didn't have enough, I began to realize that I had enough, and what I had was actually worth nurturing. So you're going to love the money story bonus. And then the next bonus is called the premium money mindset. So we take what you actually learn from your money story and then we apply it to actually making sure that you can earn the rewards that you need from your coaching and therapy practice. Here's a huge mistake I see so many coaches and therapists make. Now, if you have a pen and paper handy, great. If not, next time you're sitting down having a cup of tea or coffee, I want you to sit down and I want you to write down how much you have spent over the past, how many years have you been doing coaching and therapy courses, complementary therapy courses, self-development, professional development courses? Map out how much you've actually spent on all of those. And I'll ask you this. Are you recouping the cost of that training that you've done and the cost of the training you're going to do in that amount that you're charging your clients? I bet you're not. But anyway, okay, premium money mindset. Dan Gilbert, one of the positive psychologists, said this, and again, it's one of those statements that really resonated with me. People pay for what they love and people love what they pay for. Your clients have probably told you time and time again that what you do is amazing and the service that you provide is priceless. And yet there you are, probably giving it away for next to nothing. Anyway, bonus number 3, when your client says no, how to deal with that. How to make sure that you're not allowing it to see it as a rejection of you and to take it and to turn it into something that will really open your client's eyes and help them to see what you offer in a completely different light. And that's it. That's everything in the Get Great Clients course. Now, here's the thing. You're probably used to booking courses, and then when you sign up for them, they tell you that you're getting all of these bonus and you're getting an extra 50 hours worth of content on this and that and the other. And do you know what that does? All that does is it fluffs up the course and makes it appear more valuable to have all of those bonuses. I put my bonuses into the book. And when you actually sign up for this course, all of the videos are on one single page. So I'm not trying to make this course huge. In fact, what I'm doing is I'm distilling it down to make it super easy so that really you only need to spend 5 days actually doing this for yourself. And because I've put all of the videos on one single web page, it means that I am reducing the distractions. I'm creating what I call, again, a minimum disruption, so that it's really easy for you to go out with your phone, with your headphones on, and you can be walking and listening to me on those videos. And because you got the book actually physically in your hands, you can go out, you can listen to one of the master classes, you can come back to the relevant chapter in the book. So you've been walking, you've been crunching those steps, and at the same time, this stuff is going into your mind, not just once, but then you come home and you open the book and you start filling in the worksheets and you start answering the questions and you start actually building out the strategy you need to actually get great clients. So I'm not here to overwhelm you. It's quite the opposite. I'm here to help you to put those blinkers on and to make it as easy as possible for you to get great clients for the year ahead. So this is Susan Wallace saying thank you so much for your time, for your leadership. I'm here to help you. You should know this by now. Be the best. have the best and give your best to your clients. Bye for now.